All right, welcome to this page of the notes. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and before we start looking at solving equations, we want to take care of that first objective, which was just evaluating expressions that have an absolute value in it. And so that's exactly what I've given you. I've given you this expression, and I tell you what the variable is equal to. We'll do a substitution, and then we'll evaluate using the order of operations. So let's substitute first, and again, please feel free to work ahead, come on back, check your answers when you get done. I've got 8.4. That is minus the absolute value of 2 times n. Well, my n, I'm told, is a negative 7.5. And then I'm going to be adding 5 to that. And when it comes to the order of operations, you will need to treat the absolute value sign as a grouping symbol, right? It's the same as parentheses or brackets or braces. You will take care of everything inside the absolute value before we work out. So here we go, taking care of everything inside the absolute value, working left to right. I got to do the multiplication first. 2 times a negative 7.5 will be a minus 15. So now inside my absolute value, I have a negative 15 plus 5. Well, go ahead, take care of that addition. Should get a minus 10. Okay, well now that I've taken care of all of the operations inside the absolute value, now it's time to take the absolute value. Remember, absolute value represents the distance. How far is it from negative 10 to 0 on a number line? It's 10 units. So this negative 10, when I take the absolute value, is going to be 10. It'll be the positive value of that number. 8.4 minus now a positive 10. We'll go ahead and do 8.4 minus 10. I get negative 1.6. That takes care of that problem. Let's try another one. All right, here's what I've got for you. Once again, we have an absolute value. I have a variable in there, but I tell you what the value of the variable is. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Then we'll begin to evaluate using the order of operations like we did above. Okay, my x is a value of negative 2, so let's plug that in. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. Instead of writing it as a mixed number, 3 and 1/2, remember the way this works. Multiply the bottom numbers, add the top number, and then so I would have 3 times 2, which would be 6. And then 6 plus 1 would be 7, so that I would have 7 halves. 7 halves written as a decimal is 3 halves. So the mixed number 3 halves is the same as 7 halves, or 3.5. Hopefully I didn't throw you off too much there with that quick description of mixed numbers. If you are at all confused, pause the video, raise your hand. I'll come over and help you out. But you should remember that from middle school, hopefully. Now that I've plugged everything in, order of operations is take care of everything inside my grouping symbol, which for us is going to be the absolute value. Okay, that leaves you with a negative 8 plus 3, which of course is going to be a minus 5. Once again, what I need to do is I'm taking the absolute value, which means I need to figure out how many units is minus 5 from 0 on a number line. Distances are always positive, so it would be the positive version of this number, which is 5. And when you do 5 minus 3.5, I get a positive 1.5. Let's try another one. Oh, awesome. This one's got a ton of fractions in it. This is great practice. Fractions are friends, just like fish are food. So here we go. Fractions are friends. We're going to go ahead and plug. I don't know why I said that. I was like in my brain, all of a sudden I had like this reference to Nemo where fish are friends, not food. But fractions are friends. I know they seem scary. I don't know why kids don't ever seem to like them. If you need to, please feel free to use a calculator. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little mental math here with this one. So buckle up. This is going to be fun. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 1 and 1/3. Let's treat it the exact same way we did the last one. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So this is actually going to be 4/3. Minus 2. My y is a negative 2/3. So let's plug that in. And then I have plus 1. And I close off my absolute value. Now, in order to evaluate this, we need to take care of everything inside my grouping symbol. That's everything inside the absolute value symbol first. Here we go. I take care of multiplication. I have 2 times a negative 2. Right? Whenever you have a number multiplied by a fraction, the constant just gets thrown into the numerator. 2 times a negative 2 be a minus 4. This becomes negative 4/3. Okay. Well, now I need to go ahead and take care of this addition, but when you add or subtract fractions, you must have a common denominator. In this case, my common denominator is going to be a 3. But I can't just put a 3 in the bottom over here. Whatever you do to the bottom, you also have to do to the top. Well, this is easy because it's a 1. 1 times 3 is 3. I'll simply be adding 3 over 3. Over 3. Again, that's because I am adding. I need to have like denominators. I need to have a common denominator. But I can't just put a 3 in the bottom and leave the 1 in the top. That's not okay. Can't change something without doing it to both the top and the bottom, without doing it to the left and the right. Think of the division sign almost as like an equal sign. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. Just like with an equation, whatever you do to the right side, you have to do to the left side. So because I put a 3 in the bottom to get my common denominator, I got to put a 3 in the top. And 1 times 3 is 3. Now I can add these guys. Negative 4 plus 3 is a minus 1. Keep your common denominator, negative 1/3. Awesome. Well, here we go. We're all set to take the absolute value. Let me just come right over here where I have a little bit more space. So I still have my 4/3. But now I'm going to be taking the absolute value of a negative 1/3, which of course is just the positive of that value. So I have minus 1/3. The nice thing here, I have fractions, but I already have a common denominator. We're already set to take and do the subtraction. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Keep my common denominator of 3, and any number divided by itself is 1. Oh, what a fantastic problem. You start off with all these mixed numbers, fractions. You work your way all the way through there, and you come out with a beautiful solution of 1. That takes care of all the problems on this page. Hopefully you're comfortable now with dealing with expressions that have absolute values in them. Head on over to the next page. I'll meet you there.